route I have ever taken, and amongst one of the most challenging. We picked this load up in Georgia a couple days ago. It's headed over there toward Seattle, Washington. So everything was cool leaving Georgia, head up that 75, hit the 24. No, all was well. We get into Missouri though. Yeah, the Missouri, at this point we're on I-70. Now I'm fighting 45 to 55 mile an hour winds from there, all the way up 29 through Iowa, all the way into South Dakota, Sioux Falls, all across 90. Then it started snowing on top of the wind. I run out of hours, shut down, way back up, 90 done got shut down. They opened back up, there was a blizzard in Wyoming. So it's been different. The Badlands are not anything to mess with. If you're not really prepared for it and don't know what to expect, I had people in my corner telling me what to expect, because I've never done this before, never been out this way before. So I know right now, I think the next mountain pass I'm really looking towards is Lookout Mountain, or Lookout Pass, over there going into Idaho. We'll see what that's talking about. We'll see about snowfall, see if it's really as bad as people make it out to be. We gonna see. We gonna see. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today. I had a discussion with one of my subscribers, younger, I should say, he's younger than me. He wants to get into trouble, right? 20 years old, say turned 21 about July, something like that. And he had some concerns, so he wanted my advice. So I asked him, I said, yo, look, what exactly is it you want to know? He said, honestly, man, biggest thing stressing me out is the pre-trip. I'm paraphrasing, those weren't his exact words. But, biggest thing stressing him out is the pre-trip. He wanted to know, is it really that difficult, yada, yada. And asked me if I could make a video about it. So, decided I'll oblige. Look, to anybody thinking about getting into this industry, young or old, it don't matter. The pre-trip, number one, is probably the hardest thing for you to learn. And the reason I say that is because no one can teach it to you. And that's me speaking as a trainer now. From my perspective, I'm learning that there are certain things I can and can't teach. Some things you just gotta screw up enough to figure out. The pre-trip is one of them. Why do I say that? Because, for one, it's a lot of steps. Two, the most I might be able to do is point out the parts to you. But it's up to you to memorize those parts. It's up to you to remember the verbiage. Properly mounted and secure, not cracked and broken. You know what I'm saying? No abrasions, bulges, and cuts. And to be honest with you, it's been, at this point, years since I've done it. I vaguely remember the pre-trip. At this point, the way I run is I know what I'm looking at, and I know if it don't look right. And if it don't look right, it probably need to get fixed. I'll have it looked at. That's what I do. You see, the whole purpose of learning the pre-trip, yeah, it is an important thing to know. And hopefully you're better than me and don't really forget them. Don't forget the damn thing. But realistically speaking, nobody in the real world does a full-on pre-trip of their truck. Most people just do walk-arounds. Most people are keen enough to be able to spot when something's off. I'm just one of the spotters. Don't let it stress you out so much, because at the end of the day, you're only learning it in order to pass a test. That's all it is. It's just like all the back end maneuvers and all that. Realistically, 10 and 2 on the wheel. Both hands on the steering wheel. We're going to teach you how to alley dock in a very unrealistic manner and all that. You're learning how to take a test. That's all it is. And if you can get that locked in your head, I'm sure you studied for tests back in middle, high school, even as far back as elementary. I'm sure you studied for something just to pass it. I'm sure you've studied and failed. You never know. But that's all it is. It's just another test. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't make it harder on yourself than it really needs to be. how to take the test, and then you get on a truck with somebody like me who won't teach you the real. The 2 students I've had so far pretty much said the same thing. All that crap you learn, yeah, we're going to have to, ask that, chuck it out the window. I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to teach you how to run. I'm going to teach you how to really, back to a degree. And even that I can't teach you. The only thing I can do is guide, but it's really up to you to get out there and just practice. You see an opportunity to practice and do it. I can't do it for you. You know what I'm saying? In an ideal world, I'd be able to just take my skill set and download it into your brain, and now you just know what you're doing. Unfortunately, it don't work that way. You have to implement what you were told and do it over and over and over and over again. That is how I pass my test. Repetition. Anybody who was in school with me will tell you I was psycho about it. I was crazy. What do I mean by that? Because I was the guy who, how do I say this? Okay, so where I went to school at, they had certain trucks in a designated area that you could use, and they would use those for the pre-trip. They would use those for your backing maneuvers. Sometimes they would be used for taking the actual road test when it was time for you to test out. I was the guy out there, freezing cold, dead on winter, because y'all know I got my CDL in the wintertime. I was out there until midnight, doing it over and over and over and over again. And a part of that was my ego, because, I was kind of arrogant. And while I was on the Greyhound bus on my way up to do it, I was telling the people, I'm going to get it done my first shot. And, they were saying, what make you so sure? And I'm like, yo, because I said I'm going to do it. Like, what? Well, you need an explanation. I ordained it. It has to be so. That's my will. So I had to do everything in my power to make sure it happened. So I practiced relentlessly, and I had a good trainer. At the time, my trainer lived in the area that I was going to school in. So what he would do was leave his truck at the hotel I was staying at, and his wife would come pick him up. He'll go home. I got the keys to the truck. I'll be in there practicing the NCAB. I'll be over there practicing the entire pre-trip, inside and out, NCAB inspection, all that, over and over and over and over again. And it was even harder on me because at the time I had a roommate. He snored like a banshee. You know what I'm saying? He sounded like a lawnmower, real talk, big leaf blower status. So I couldn't sleep anyways. It was like, well, shoot, might as well be productive with my time, go outside, do it over and over and over and over again until I have it down packed. And even going through all of that, when it came time to test out, I was still nervous. I'm sitting there, go over the pre-trip or whatever. I'm seeing the dude writing on the clipboard and whatnot, and then it's time for the road test. I see him out the corner of my eye writing on the clipboard, and I'm sitting here like, am I screwing up? I don't know. I'm just doing what, I'm doing what I know at this point. I don't know. I don't have nobody in my ear telling me, do this, do that, hit the brake, stop. Don't go past this point, whatever. This is how you make your turns, whatever. It fell on me entirely. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous. I really was. But my efforts paid off. When we finally got back to the facility, and dude told me I passed, and I walk into the building, my trainer waiting for me, and I tell him I did it. And he cried a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. He shed a tear. And I'll never forget what he told me that day. He told me it was like watching one of his children do a good thing. So now I'm telling you guys, study, don't be scared, and be another one of the good kids. And that's all I had to say about that. I'm going to continue down this I-90. I got 450 miles to Seattle. So I'm going to enjoy this scenery. It's lovely up here. It really is. Now, as I always tell you guys, be happy, stay blessed. Do not be afraid to make drastic changes in your life. It might end up being the best decision you ever made.